Welcome to MystiChrono, where history meets mystery. Here, on this windswept plain in southern England, a circle of ancient stones has stood in silence for millennia, a timeless monument defying both time and logic. These are the silent sentinels of Stonehenge, a structure that has captured the human imagination for centuries. It is a place of profound antiquity, an architectural marvel that seems to whisper secrets of a long-forgotten age. For centuries, it has posed questions that echo through our history, challenging our understanding of the distant past and the capabilities of those who came before us. Built long before the Great Pyramids of Egypt, crafted by unknown hands, and aligned with the celestial dance of the sun and stars, Stonehenge remains one of the world's greatest enigmas. Who were the people who conceived of such a colossal undertaking? Why did they dedicate generations of effort to its construction? And how, in an age without modern technology, did prehistoric people move stones weighing over 25 tons across miles of wild, unforgiving landscape? These questions are not merely academic. They touch upon the very essence of human ingenuity, belief, and our enduring connection to the cosmos. Today, we embark on a journey through time, peeling back the layers of myth, archaeology, and speculation. We will venture deep into the heart of this ancient puzzle to uncover the truth, or perhaps to discover the profound mystery that truth alone cannot explain. We will walk among these giants, listen to the whispers on the wind, and attempt to understand the minds of those who raised them towards the heavens. Join me as we explore the eternal enigma of Stonehenge. Here it stands, a circle of giants, weathered by 5,000 years of sun, wind, and rain. Its scale is at once both intimate and immense. From a distance, it appears almost humble against the vastness of the Salisbury Plain. But as one draws closer, its true majesty is revealed. These are not mere rocks, they are colossal pillars, shaped and placed with an intention that we can now only guess at. The air here feels different, heavy with the weight of ages. One cannot help but feel a sense of reverence, a connection to the countless generations who have stood in this very spot, gazing up in wonder just as we do today. The questions begin to form, unbidden, in the quiet awe of this place. Who were they, the architects of this stone circle? They left behind no written records, no blueprints, no explicit declaration of their purpose. Were they chieftains, priests, or astronomers, farmers or warriors? What drove them to quarry, transport, and erect these monoliths? Was this a temple for worship, a great clock to mark the passing of seasons, or a solemn monument to the dead? The stones themselves offer no easy answers. They remain silent, holding their secrets close, their very presence a testament to a mystery that has outlasted empires. To truly grasp the significance of Stonehenge, we must adjust our sense of time. We must travel back, far back, to an era shrouded in the mists of prehistory. Construction here began around 3000 BC, with the initial earthwork ditch and bank. The great stones we see today were raised centuries later. This means that when the first stones were being heaved into place, the Great Pyramids of Giza had not yet been conceived. This structure is a relic from the Neolithic and Bronze Ages, a time of profound change in human society, when farming was taking root and communities were becoming more settled and complex. What this timeline reveals is astonishing. It tells of a society with a level of sophistication and organizational skill that defies our conventional image of prehistoric life. These were not primitive people, but master builders and keen observers of the natural world. The very existence of Stonehenge forces us to reconsider the intellectual and technological capabilities of our ancient ancestors. They possessed a deep, intricate knowledge of engineering, logistics, and, most remarkably, the movements of the heavens. This was a civilization with a vision, one powerful enough to inspire a project that would span more than 1,000 years. The identity of Stonehenge's creators is perhaps the most tantalizing piece of the puzzle. For centuries, the romantic image of white-robed druids performing arcane rituals among the stones has dominated the popular imagination. This idea, popularized in the 17th and 18th centuries, is, however, anachronistic. Modern archaeology tells us that Stonehenge was already ancient by the time the Druids appeared in Britain. The true builders were far older, their culture more remote and mysterious. They were the Neolithic and Bronze Age peoples who inhabited these lands, farmers who tilled the soil and herded livestock. But calling them farmers seems an inadequate description for the masterminds behind this monument. The challenges they faced were monumental. They had only the simplest of tools: stone hammers, antler picks, and the bones of animals. Yet with these, they shaped hard Sarsen sandstone and transported volcanic bluestones over immense distances. This was a collaborative effort on a massive scale, requiring hundreds, perhaps thousands of individuals, all working together towards a common, sacred goal. It speaks of a highly organized society, with charismatic leaders capable of marshalling a vast workforce for a project that would outlive them all. The sheer physicality of Stonehenge is staggering. The monument is composed of two primary types of stone. The larger, outer circle and central trilithons are sarsen stones, a type of silicified sandstone. These behemoths, weighing up to 40 tons, were sourced from the Marlborough Downs, a journey of some 20 miles. Think of the effort involved. Moving a single one of these stones, even with modern equipment, would be a significant challenge. How did they achieve it with only muscle, wood, and rope? Theories abound, suggesting the use of timber rollers, sledges lubricated with animal fat, or vast teams of people pulling in unison. Even more perplexing are the smaller bluestones. These volcanic rocks, each weighing between 2 and 5 tons, have been traced to the Preseli Hills in Wales, over 150 miles away. The journey would have crossed rivers, forests, and rugged terrain. Did they drag them overland, an almost unimaginable feat of endurance? Or did they use a combination of land and water transport, building rafts to float the stones along the coast and up rivers? Each theory presents its own set of immense challenges. The raising of the stones into their upright positions and the lifting of the heavy lintels to cap them represents another marvel of prehistoric engineering, likely involving complex systems of levers, counterweights, and earthen ramps. Stonehenge is more than just a collection of stones. It is a precision instrument, oriented with profound astronomical accuracy. The entire structure is aligned along a northeast-southwest axis. On the longest day of the year, the summer solstice, an observer standing in the center of the circle can watch the sun rise directly over the heel stone, which stands apart from the main monument. And on the shortest day, the winter solstice, the setting sun aligns perfectly with the principal axis of the Great Trilithon. This is no accident. It is a deliberate and fundamental aspect of its design. This celestial alignment transforms Stonehenge from a mere structure into an astronomical observatory of immense sophistication. It demonstrates that its builders possessed a deep and cyclical understanding of the cosmos. They tracked the passage of the sun, marking the turning points of the year that governed their agricultural lives. The time for planting, the time for harvest. But the alignment likely held a deeper, spiritual significance. The solstices were moments of immense power, a sacred dialogue between the earth and the heavens. By capturing these moments in stone, the builders were creating a bridge between their world and the cosmic order. The powerful solar alignments have led many to believe that Stonehenge was, in essence, a temple dedicated to the sun, a place where the changing seasons were celebrated with elaborate rituals. marking the cyclical journey of light and life. The winter solstice in particular may have been of paramount importance. In the depths of winter, the alignment marking the return of the sun would have been a powerful symbol of rebirth and renewal, a promise that warmth and life would return to the land. The monument itself can be seen as a great eternal calendar, built not of paper, but of stone. But the sun may not have been the only celestial body venerated here. Some theories propose that Stonehenge was also aligned with the movements of the moon. The 56 chalk pits that form the Aubrey holes, part of the earliest phase of the monument, could have been used as a complex calculator to predict lunar eclipses. This duality of sun and moon, light and dark, day and night, speaks to a sophisticated cosmology. It suggests that Stonehenge was a sacred space where the fundamental cycles of existence were observed and honoured. The cycle of the seasons, the cycle of the heavens, and perhaps the human cycle of life and death. The story of Stonehenge does not exist in isolation. It is the centerpiece of a much larger sacred landscape, one dotted with other monuments, burial mounds, and ancient pathways. Just a couple of miles away lies Woodhenge, a similar circular monument once composed of massive timber posts. Nearby, at Durrington Walls, archaeologists have unearthed the remains of a vast settlement, believed to be the village where the builders of Stonehenge lived. The discovery of feasting halls and thousands of animal bones suggests a place of lively celebration, a place for the living. This has given rise to a compelling theory. If Durrington Walls and Woodhenge, built of perishable wood, were the domain of the living, then Stonehenge, built of eternal stone, was the domain of the dead. It may have been a place of ancestors, a final resting place for a select few, perhaps a royal dynasty or a priestly class. The avenue connecting Stonehenge to the River Avon could have been a ceremonial route for funeral processions. In this view, Stonehenge is not just an observatory, but a vast memorial, a stone circle connecting the world of the living with the realm of the spirits and ancestors, a permanent link across generations. Faced with the sheer difficulty of constructing Stonehenge, it is easy to wonder if its builders possessed knowledge that has since been lost to time. Could they have understood advanced principles of physics or engineering that we are only now rediscovering? Some have proposed that they used sound and vibration to levitate or lighten the stones, a technology that seems to border on science fiction. Others speculate about a mastery of magnetism or a deep intuitive understanding of the Earth's natural energy fields, allowing them to find the path of least resistance for moving the megaliths. These ideas, while fascinating, lack concrete archaeological evidence. Yet, the question persists. The precision of the stonework, with its carefully crafted mortise and tenon joints, is more akin to carpentry than masonry, and is unique among European megalithic structures. Was this staggering leap in ingenuity born solely of human determination? Or was there another factor at play? Some have even looked to the heavens for an answer, suggesting extraterrestrial guidance or inspiration. While this remains in the realm of pure speculation, it speaks to the profound sense of wonder and disbelief that Stonehenge inspires. It seems almost too perfect, too ambitious for its time. There is another, more tangible mystery hidden within the stones themselves: the mystery of sound. In 2013, researchers made a remarkable discovery. Many of the bluestones, when struck, produce clear, resonant musical tones. They ring like bells, gongs, or drums. This property is unique to the specific type of spotted dolerite from the Preseli Hills. The fact that the builders transported these specific stones over such a vast distance, bypassing many other suitable rock sources along the way, suggests that their acoustic properties may have been a primary reason for their selection. This opens up an entirely new dimension to our understanding of Stonehenge. It may not have been a silent monument. Imagine the soundscape of a ceremony within the circle. The deep ringing tones of the blue stones echoing across the plain, perhaps accompanied by chanting, drumming, and the playing of bone flutes. It could have been an auditory experience of immense power, designed to alter consciousness, induce trance-like states, or communicate with the gods and ancestors. The stones were not just a visual spectacle, they were potentially a colossal musical instrument, a symphony in stone designed to resonate with both the earth and the human spirit. Where history is silent, myth and legend rush in to fill the void. Over the centuries, a rich tapestry of folklore has been woven around Stonehenge. The most famous of these tales comes from the 12th century writer Geoffrey of Monmouth, who linked the monument to the wizard Merlin from Arthurian legend. In his telling, the stones were originally a healing circle of giants in Ireland, which Merlin, using his magic and ingenuity, dismantled and magically transported to their current location in England as a memorial to fallen British lords. Other legends tell of the stones being dropped into place by a giant, or of the devil tricking a friar and flinging a stone at his heel, thus creating the heel stone. These stories, while fanciful, reveal a deep-seated human need to explain the inexplicable. They are an attempt to imbue the monument with a narrative, to give it a story that our minds can grasp. They reflect the awe and bewilderment that Stonehenge has always inspired. While we now look to archaeology for answers, these ancient myths remind us that Stonehenge has always been, first and foremost, a place of magic and wonder. The genius of Stonehenge is not just in its scale, but in its sophisticated design. It is a masterpiece of prehistoric mathematics and geometry. The main circle is almost perfectly circular, a feat difficult to achieve over such a large area. The placement of the stones is not random. It follows a clear, deliberate pattern. Some researchers have proposed that the layout incorporates advanced geometric principles, such as the Pythagorean theorem, long before Pythagoras himself was born. The very unit of measurement used, the megalithic yard, seems to appear consistently in other ancient sites across Britain. This mathematical precision is intertwined with its astronomical function. The number of stones in each circle, the distances between them, the angles of the alignments, all may have had a numerical significance, encoding cycles of the sun, moon, and perhaps even more distant stars. The entire site can be seen as a blueprint of the cosmos, rendered in stone on the Earth. It represents a worldview where mathematics, astronomy, and spirituality were not separate disciplines, but a single, unified system of knowledge used to understand the universe and humanity's place within it. It is a testament to an intellectual tradition as monumental as the stones themselves. Let us try to imagine what it might have been like to stand here, 4,000 years ago, during a great ceremony. The air is thick with the smoke of bonfires. The sound of chanting and the ringing of the blue stones fills the air. Hundreds, perhaps thousands of people are gathered, their faces illuminated by the flickering firelight. Priests or chieftains, adorned in special garments, lead the proceedings from the center of the circle. They are the keepers of the ancient knowledge, the intermediaries between the people and the cosmos. The focus of the ritual might be the sun, as its first or last rays pierce the monument on a solstice, bathing the central altar stone in a sacred light. It might be a funeral for a great leader, their body brought in solemn procession to be laid to rest among the ancestors. Or it could be a celebration of the harvest, a great feast to give thanks for the bounty of the earth. Whatever the specific purpose, these were undoubtedly moments of immense social and spiritual power. Stonehenge was the stage for the great dramas of life, death, and renewal. A place that bound the community together and reinforced its connection to the divine. Stonehenge is the most famous megalithic structure in the world, but, it is not unique. All across Western Europe, from the Carnac stones in France to the Ring of Brodgar in Scotland and Newgrange in Ireland, our ancient ancestors were building these extraordinary monuments of stone. These sites, many of which are contemporary with Stonehenge, share common features: circular layouts, astronomical alignments, and a sense of profound spiritual purpose. Could they all be the work of a single interconnected culture, a great forgotten civilization of stone builders? This idea is, quite compelling. It suggests a level of communication, trade, and shared belief across vast distances in Neolithic Europe that we are only beginning to comprehend. Perhaps Stonehenge was not just a local temple, but a major pilgrimage centre, a cathedral for a widespread religion, drawing people from all over the continent. The skills and knowledge required to build these monuments may have been passed from one group to another, evolving and adapting along the way. Stonehenge may be the greatest surviving remnant of this lost world, a world whose true extent and sophistication remain one of archaeology's most profound mysteries. For all that we can see above ground, some of Stonehenge's greatest secrets may lie buried beneath our feet. In recent years, new technologies have allowed archaeologists to peer into the earth without ever lifting a spade. Ground-penetrating radar and magnetometry surveys have revealed a startlingly complex hidden landscape. These scans show evidence of dozens of previously unknown monuments, including other stone and timber structures, burial mounds, and vast pits, all forming part of the wider Stonehenge complex. One of the most exciting discoveries is a line of massive buried stones, forming a superhenge at nearby Durrington Walls. This suggests that the landscape we see today is just a shadow of its former glory. The entire area was once a bustling, evolving ceremonial centre, far larger and more complex than previously imagined. Each new discovery adds another layer to the puzzle. What were these buried structures for? Why were they decommissioned or covered over? The ground here is like a book, with chapters of history written and then erased. The earth itself is a silent keeper of stories yet to be told. While the solar and lunar alignments of Stonehenge are well established, some researchers believe its builder's gaze was fixed on even more distant points of light. The night sky of the Neolithic era, free from modern light pollution, would have been a breathtaking spectacle. The stars, in their predictable yet mysterious dance, were surely a source of myth, guidance, and veneration. Could the layout of the stones mirror not just the path of the sun, but also the patterns of the constellations? Theories have been proposed linking the positions of the stones to specific stars or star groups, such as the Pleiades or Sirius. The movements of these stars could have been used to fine-tune the calendar or to mark the timing of specific annual rituals. This would imply an even deeper level of astronomical knowledge, a patient, multi-generational observation of the heavens. For the people of Stonehenge, the cosmos was not a remote, abstract concept. It was a living, breathing entity, and the stone circle on the plain was its earthly reflection, a sacred map connecting their small world to the infinite expanse above. Beyond the realms of conventional archaeology, there are those who believe Stonehenge's secrets are tied to the very energy of the earth itself. This is the world of ley lines, hypothetical alignments of ancient sites, geographical features, and spiritual landmarks. Proponents of this theory suggest that Stonehenge is situated at a powerful nexus of these energy lines, a place where terrestrial and cosmic energies converge. The stones, they argue, were not just placed for astronomical alignment, but to channel, amplify, or harness this natural power. The blue stones, in particular, are often central to these ideas. Sourced from a specific distant location, They are believed by some to have special healing or energetic properties. People who visit the site often report feeling a strange sensation, a palpable energy in the air. Is this merely the psychological effect of being in such an ancient and awe-inspiring place? Or is there something more? While science has not verified the existence of ley lines or stone energies, these concepts speak to an intuitive feeling that many experience here, that Stonehenge is not just stone and soil, but a living place with a power that can still be felt today. After centuries of study and, honestly, decades of intensive archaeological investigation, what can we say for certain about Stonehenge's purpose? The truth is, we are still far from a definitive answer. It was almost certainly an astronomical observatory, a calendar in stone. The evidence for its use as a burial ground, a domain of the ancestors, is also very strong. The acoustic properties of the stones suggest it could have been a place for sound rituals, maybe even a colossal musical instrument. The sheer scale of the project indicates it was a powerful symbol of status and community cohesion. Perhaps the greatest mistake we can make is to search for a single purpose. A monument that was built and modified over a period of 1,500 years likely served many different functions, its meaning and use evolving with the generations. It may have been a temple, a parliament, a healing centre, an observatory, and a memorial, all at once or at different times. The true purpose of Stonehenge may be a complex, layered story that we can never fully recover. The stones guard their full story well, leaving us with a beautiful, humbling uncertainty. Stonehenge is more than just an archaeological puzzle. It is a mirror reflecting our own humanity. It forces us to look back at our distant ancestors not as simple or primitive, but as people with complex minds, deep spiritual lives, and extraordinary vision. They possessed a profound connection to the natural world, an intimate knowledge of the earth beneath their feet and the sky above their heads. They understood cycles, patterns, and the enduring power of community. They thought not in terms of years or decades, but of centuries and millennia. In our fast-paced modern world, Stonehenge teaches us the value of patience, perseverance, and long-term vision. It reminds us that some things of great value take generations to build. It speaks of a society that could unite for a common purpose, a purpose so powerful that it motivated them to achieve the seemingly impossible. It is a humbling lesson in human potential. The intelligence and spiritual awareness of Stonehenge's builders are not lost in the mists of time. They are encoded in the very fabric of the monument they left behind for us to wonder at. And so, the circle remains unbroken. An enigma in stone, standing defiant against the erosion of time. Each generation that comes here brings its own questions, its own theories, its own sense of wonder. We have peered into its past with science, myth, and intuition, and yet the central mystery endures. The silence of Stonehenge is not an empty silence. It is filled with the echoes of every question that has ever been asked of it. It is a monument to the human desire to understand, to connect with something larger than ourselves. This enduring mystery is, perhaps, its greatest legacy. It is a testament to the fact that there are limits to our knowledge, that some secrets of the past are destined to remain just beyond our reach. Stonehenge challenges our certainty and invites us to speculate, to dream, to imagine. It is a permanent reminder of the vastness of human history and the profound capabilities of the human spirit. It is a symbol of our timeless, unquenchable drive to reach for the eternal, to build something that will outlast us, something that will speak to the future in a language of stone and stars. In the end, the full story of these stones may be a song whose words we have forgotten. The mystery of Stonehenge may never be fully solved, but maybe that's the point. It stands as a powerful reminder that not all knowledge is meant for the mind. Some secrets are meant to be felt, not found, understood by the heart, not deciphered by the intellect. It is an invitation to stand in the presence of deep time, to feel the weight of millennia, and to appreciate the profound beauty of a question that may never be answered. This monument doesn't just challenge our knowledge, it deepens our capacity for wonder. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time and mystery, into the heart of one of history's most compelling enigmas. We have walked in the footsteps of ancient peoples and gazed upon the celestial clock they so masterfully built. The questions remain, hanging in the air like the morning mist on Salisbury Plain, but our appreciation for the minds that conceived of this place has only grown deeper. The past is never truly gone. It surrounds us, waiting to be seen. This is MystiChrono, where the past whispers and the truth hides in plain sight. If you were as captivated by this journey as we were, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more cinematic explorations of lost civilizations, ancient wonders, and the hidden truths that lie just beneath the surface of our world. Until next time, keep questioning.